I've spent the last 8 years pretending to find my daughter's music box in different places around the world. When my daughter Emma was 6, her mother and I divorced. The split was amicable, but Emma struggled with the transition between our homes. She'd cry when leaving either of us, clinging to whoever she was about to leave behind. The hardest part was bedtime at my place. She couldn't fall asleep without her special music box, a wooden ballerina that played Somewhere Over the Rainbow when opened one night. She accidentally left it at her mom's house, and the tantrum that followed was heartbreaking. I drove across town at 11 p.m. to retrieve it, but that night I realized we needed a backup plan. So I bought an identical music box and kept it hidden in my closet for emergencies. A week later, Emma couldn't find her music box again. As she began to panic, I told her, "Wait, I think I saw something under your bed." I pretended to search and found the backup box. Her relief was immediate. "How did it get there?" she asked, clutching it to her chest. Without thinking, I said, "Maybe it's magic, maybe it finds its way to you when you need it most." Her eyes widened like it. "Knows I miss it." "Exactly," I said. "No matter where you go, it will always find its way back to you." It was just a white lie to ease a difficult moment. I never expected what would happen next that summer. Emma went to her grandparents for 2 weeks. The night before she left, she deliberately left her music box on my kitchen counter. "I'm leaving it here on purpose," she announced. "I want to see if it really comes to find me." I panicked but promised to let her know if it disappeared. 2 days later, I called and told her I couldn't find the music box anywhere. Her excitement was palpable. The next day, I drove 4 hours to her grandparents' house while she was at the community pool and snuck into her room. I placed the second music box under her pillow with a tiny note. "I missed you, love, ballerina." When Emma found it, she called me screaming with joy. My parents watched in confusion as she danced around the room, proclaiming that magic was real. That was 8 years ago. Now she's 14 and I've found her music box in impossible places dozens of times. In a hotel room in Paris when we were on vacation, implied her suitcase after she swore she checked it 3 times on a shelf at the library, where we went after she lost it at home. Buried in the sand at the beach after a wave supposedly carried it away each time. I've had to be increasingly creative with the switches. I've made midnight drives, enlisted the help of relatives, hotel staff, and even her math teacher once. I've written tiny notes from ballerina about her adventures getting to Emma. I've weathered the box slightly differently each time to explain why it sometimes looks different. I know she's too old to believe in magic music boxes now. Last month, I overheard her telling her best friend, "My dad thinks I still believe the music box is magic, but I've known it was him since I was like 10. I just don't have the heart to tell him. What she doesn't know is that I heard her. Part of me wanted to confess everything right then. Instead, I've decided to plan one final magic appearance next week. Emma leaves for her first year of college 3 states away. I've arranged with her roommate to hide the original music box, which I've kept all these years, in Emma's dorm room after she's moved in. With it will be a letter explaining everything, how a desperate attempt to soothe the scared 6-year-old turned into years of elaborate schemes, all because I couldn't bear to see her cry. The letter ends with, "The real magic was never in the music box. It was in knowing that no matter how far apart we are, I will always find a way back to you." And now, as you begin this new chapter, both music boxes are finally together, just like you've always had pieces of both your homes with you wherever you go. I don't know if she'll laugh or cry when she reads it, maybe. Both. What I do know is that sometimes the lies we tell our children become the stories that shape them. And this particular lie taught both of us that love always finds its way home.